What is up, everybody? It's your boy Nitrex here, and today I decided to do a different video than what I would normally do. Now, being that I don't talk much about Nickelodeon these days, because I, in general, just grown up, but as time comes, you sometimes like to reminisce about those good old days of you playing your Nickelodeon games and just looking back at it, and you're like, wow, I got a chance to play that. That was glorious. It was just heavenly. Now, being that THQ Nordic had made Spongebob SquarePants, Battlefield Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, and that game was so good that everyone was having a shell of a time with playing the single player and the new addition to the multiplayer, which is astonishing. Now, I put together a top 10 list of games that THQ Nordic should bring back. Being that they're not gonna do it like this, not by the book, and being that it might be tough on them for loads of different reasons, which I'm not gonna go into because that's not the whole point of the video. Now, before I begin the top 10 video, I would like to take a moment of your time and say please like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and help it grow out like Jack in the Beanstalk. Anyways, without further delays, let's do this. Numero 10.
Rated everyone 10 and up.
It's party time!
Be that as it may, that I had never played the game before, but I have seen the commercial a lot of times, and pretty much already got the gist of what the game is like. You create your own character just to be able to interact with the other characters who are from the movie and the show, except for Ben, because you would know why he's not there. Anyways, once you talk to them, they'll give you missions to do that'll let you progress throughout the entire game. I will say though, the game has a nice set of cutscenes that I consider somewhat humorous.
Pull me up! Pull me up!
Dude, you're a cow, I'm a mouse. Do the math.
Can you keep it quiet back there, woman? I'm watching the TV.
With that in mind, I believe that this game should be brought back by THQ Nordic, being that it's something that a lot of people would remember and would be an interesting take from their perspective on how it would be brought back. That and production animations that we missed too. $19.90. You guys are welcome to that flashback. Anyway, as for this game, I have also never played this one before. However, I have played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater before, so essentially it reminds me of that a little bit, with some added additions like you have multiplayer, which is only like 1 to 2 players, and then you can select characters from the show, which are up to 4. You have from Otto, Reggie, Sam, and Twister as your characters of your choice that you can select. Being that in this game there should be surfing, skateboarding, skating, and of course snowboarding. What else do I need to say to make this game come back? THQ Nordic, if you could please make this happen.
Water. Earth. Fire. Air.
Another unfortunate Nickelodeon title I have never had the liberty of playing. However, I have played a game similar to this, which is called Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, which that game is similar to this, where if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's simply a first-person perspective game where you're looking on top of a person or a group, and you switch between them, and then you basically use their abilities for certain tasks or to handle and vanquish certain enemies that only that character can handle. Where it's, in that perspective. Being that this game is like Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, we honestly need more games like that today. The only thing is, this game, I'm pretty sure, does not have 4-player co-op like Marvel's Ultimate Alliance. It's sad, but hey, this game looks pretty good. It deserves to come back. And I hope that, THQ Nordic is out there and they're taking ideas of what's their next move. And, this could be it. They could choose this or another game. Either way it go, I'm happy with what they can do.
Surfing.
Rated everyone. 2 fairy godparents. 1 imaginative kid. Things are about to get really odd.
Finally, a Nickelodeon title that I've actually actively played before. This game, Fairy Odd Parents Showdown, I actually played. A lot similar to, SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, being that they're both platformers and you're basically exploring the land a little bit, except this game is a little bit more linear compared to Battle for Bikini Bottom. Now, the other difference is Timmy Turner himself does not have really any melee combat abilities like SpongeBob does. So in other words, you have to literally look for these items in order to make one wish invention that you can then use on the environment to either benefit you or to combat enemies who are attacking you. The only thing Timmy Turner can do to fight back is stomp, which is not a bad thing, but it makes me want to desire more from it. With that being said, this is a game that I would say is worth to give a try and is worth to be brought back. So, THQ Nordic, do it. You guys did this before. I mean, Nickelodeon owns the licenses, and you guys worked on it before, so the more you know.
6.
This game has not yet been rated. There, I said it!
Today in Bikini Bottom, a casting director searches for an actor to play the lead role in an episode of The New Adventures of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
SpongeBob.
This town ain't big enough for the two of us.
Hey, your day job? Don't quit it! Eugene H. Krabs. Hey, didn't I buy a Krabby Patty off of you last week? Sheldon J. Plankton.
A video game that's just essentially Mario Party with a different license of characters. From the crew of SpongeBob, like Plankton, SpongeBob himself, Mr. Krabs, Sandy, Patrick. You also have minigames that are very unique to the game itself, being that it's like its own personal type of minigames, where it's similar to Mario Party in every single way. If you don't know what Mario Party is, or any party game, it's like this. You gather an amount of points after completing each game. The one who has the most points by the time all these minigames end wins. It's that simple. I've never played this game before. I've always wanted to play it since I was a kid, but I didn't have friends to come around and come over and play it. So that was kind of the reason why. But other than that, this game looks pretty fun to play. Sit down and have fun with. So yeah, THQ, you know what to do. Make it happen. I got 5 on my 5 on my 5 on my 5.
Wake up, Tak! Wake up! You've been asleep for too long. Come on, Tak. Snap out of it. He's been like this for days. I've tried everything. I'm at my wit's end, Locke.
Oh, creepy. His eyes are open, but he's still snoozing.
Come up at number 5, you guys got Tac 2 and the Staff of Dreams. A game that I so much pretty much remember playing back in the day when I was like 8. This game, I can't really describe it outside of being a platformer. But what I can say is, despite the Very Odd Parents video game coming out and having played that, being that it's similar to that, except for one big difference, being that that game focuses on new gadgets that you get each and every time, which gives you a reason to explore and to capture pieces. Where in this game, you start off with a couple of gadgets, as well as exploring the world at the same time. Where it's not hard, it's not difficult to play, it's actually a nice little game once you get down to it. This game should be brought back by THQ Nordic since, you know, it fits the bill of what a adventure type game would be like. Being that it follows Tac, having to fight a whole bunch of tikis and whatever type of weird mumbo jumbo that the story itself manages to produce. So I can appreciate this much by having a decent amount of cutscenes, even though the game's in-game cutscenes are very different from the game's actual cutscenes.
Buddy bar.
Oh, hey. Maybe you two want some alone time, because what you're doing is freaking the lock.
No, we don't want any alone time. What we want is a boat. I'm not feeding you any more candy. You promised us a way down the river. I want it now.
No problem.
Hey, Tac, come back here.
On second thought, disregard that last comment I made. This game needs to be brought back right gosh darn now. I mean, seriously, that was funny. I honestly did not anticipate on that cutscene alone. This game needs to be brought back because it has a nice amount of humor. 4 pieces and a biscuit with a soda.
Rated everyone. Lunch. Check. Homework. Check. Jetpack. Check. Save the world from Twonkies. Check, check.
You didn't think I would forget my friend Jimmy Jimbo over here, did you? No way, Jose. With Jimmy Neutron's Attack of the Twonkies at my number 4 spot, being that this is a game I played but never beat, why does Cindy look like that? This is the movie counterpart, not the TV show counterpart, because she never has that hairstyle in like the TV show. Anyways, moving on to a random point that doesn't make any sense. As a kid, I kid you not, I had Jimmy Neutron in my mind being the soldier in my imagination, capturing Twonkies like a terrorist. I'm not joking. I'm telling the truth. That was my main amusement from the game. I was like, go, 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 get him, Jimmy, put him in the bag, put him in the bag. Essentially, that's actually what you're doing in this game. Not even far away from the truth. You're capturing Twonkies and putting them in the bag, so that way you can protect the city of Retro, or the town of Retroville, from its reigning terror. Other than that, it's very similar to Very Odd Parents' Shadow Showdown, being that you collect lots of other pieces to make gadgets. Even though it's kind of what I used to do when I was a kid. I mean, not in Jimmy Neutron's likeness. Not being that he's basically Einstein reincarnated as a kid. Aside from those points that I made, this is a nice game that you will like, especially that the game has its very own unique boss battles. On top of that, it has very comical relief type of inventions that it makes. So, take it with a grain of salt. This game might not be for you, but I would say for some people who love Jimmy Neutron and are interested in games like this, THQ Nordic should make it happen. So, if you see this video and you're friends with the people at THQ Nordic, just tell them I sent you. Trey? 3, okay, 3.
Welcome to Nicktoons Racing!
It's Cat Dog by a Whisker!
With the Rugrats babies
are making those beavers awful angry!
But SpongeBob's making his move and oh, he's soaking up sidewalks!
With the new Nicktoons Racing game!
You can race all your favorite Nicktoons characters!
Go head to head!
Or team up relay style!
With 5 wild ways to race!
You'll laugh all the way to the finish line!
I'm 100% certain that none of us are laughing when we reach the finish line. I mean, we're having fun when it comes to this game. Now, for those of you veterans who played Nicktoons Racing, please put it down in the comment section and tell me how sick it was. I mean, because I'm a veteran as well that remember playing this game. The thing is, for some of you, you have this on the computer. Me, I had to go to Chuck E. Cheese to go play this. I mean, I haven't done so recently, but I have done so in the past, and where I just at least remember that. I mean, I love Nicktoons, alright? Nicktoons is the best part of Nickelodeon to me, personally. Where this game did it right, where it's a short roster, but they catered to the characters that people remembered the most. The problem with the Nicktoons kart racers, or its, basically its rebooted counterpart, it basically catered to the wrong, characters, and was done, not so properly. Being at times like this, just times like this, most people want to play online and with characters that they fancy with from the beginning. I mean, I'm just being honest here. Well, all I'm gonna say is, if the second game is a flop, THQ Nordic needs to take the mantle. So, long story short, this is a game that is basically Mario Kart, and for those of you who don't know what Mario Kart is, you're basically driving around using little gadgets you pick up as a little item. Depending on what it is, you can use it to either ascend to first place by boosting, or simply attacking your opponent on the track. Which, there are different tracks in the game, and honestly, by graphics, it might not be the greatest, but like I said, THQ Nordic knows what they're doing. So, I don't have to say anything else after this. 2-0 Duo. That's still 2.
So our youngest competitor's ready for his first real challenge, Dale. Should be interesting, Rick. Interesting. Like grappling with an angry octopus, Dale.
Coming in hot in the number 2 spot, you have SpongeBob SquarePants, Creature from the Krusty Krab. A game that I will say can be highly graded compared to SpongeBob SquarePants review for the critical man behind that, FrameRater. On YouTube, subscribe to this man, please. He knows what his deal is about video games. Now, with that aside, this is a game I have to put up on the number 2 spot of the list, being that in this game, you are offered the ability to play as SpongeBob, Plankton, and Patrick himself, as they all have dreams that somehow connect to each other's, being that SpongeBob is a race car driver in one dream, and Plankton has a dream of capturing the Krabby Patty while also being in human size, and eventually becoming a huge form of himself, as a Godzilla-like kaiju. And finally, Patrick has a dream of being a superhero, where the irony is that every single person there is basically Patrick. Now, with that in mind, this is a game that I would say deserves to be nominated for number 2 on the spot, being that it's no ordinary Nicktoons game, since it has a lot of things to offer, from action platforming to a fun little platforming that's kind of like a 2.5D type of deal, and then you have racing here and there, along with cool little mini games that the game offers. And as well, the most important part, this game has alternate endings and funny cutscenes.
I'm supposed to win!
Okay, that's my arch enemy defeated. Now what? Mow the lawn.
Karen. Make me 100 times bigger.
Warning. Size modulation insufficient. Power failure imminent.
I'm huge. I'm gigantic. I'm fast. Huh? Morning. Well, it's still an improvement. Now where's that crabby delicacy? Time for Patty payback! Oh, this is not good! I shall run! Good thing I'm wearing my despicular.
It's just a freeze ray, dear.
I invented it, so I get to name it, and I name it the Despiculator.
Now with that in mind, this game is a definite nominee. Like a very good one, to say the least, in the top 5. But the other thing I also want to talk about before I go on to number 1, I love the music for when Plankton is running away from the Krabby Patty. It's like the greatest soundtrack. Here, have a listen.
Hello there.
Chased by the very patty that I sought to catch. Ah, the sweet, depressing irony.
Number 1.
Press the big red button.
Leaping leptons! What's going on here?
Why nothing. Nothing at all.
No, for those of you who are sitting there, why is this number 1? This is not my favorite. I don't remember playing this. Well, let me tell you. For one, this is the one Nickelodeon game that I've seen commercials for the most, compared to the other ones that I have never saw on TV. If I never seen it on TV, the only way I was able to see it was because the game had a video of it. So that meant that I was just sitting down watching it the entire time. This is the commercial I saw for the entirety of my youth.
Rated E for everyone. An evil army is rising. A band of heroes is gathering. The attack of the toy bots has begun. Massive worlds, multiplayer showdowns, head-to-head battles, blazing minigames, and the biggest cast of Nicktoons ever assembled. Power up a mech suit to smash your way to victory.
Now, despite its outdated look, its relevance, or the fact that the shows are kind of outdated and a lot of those who would remember are like adults now, yeah, I get it. It's a lot of things, and it's like your main attraction and your main like key audience is children. Now, however, when it's a main factor that's accepted that it's being done for people who would remember these, and more importantly that this is an affiliation contract with Nickelodeon, I honestly feel that this game is suitable enough to become the title that we all could use. A game that would, do us justice, as well as THQ Nordic, who has a lot of things to do. Being that they're making games and they're trying their best to, stay relevant. And I'm glad that THQ didn't fully hit the bucket just yet. So from here, my simple reasons for why I chose this game, once again, this is a game that you can play with your friend. And what it could use is an update. Like for starters, like the voice lines that were never used in the game, as well as characters that could be added that are new, or characters who were never added in the game in the first place, and yet they were just referenced, like Avatar Ong, Otto from Rocket Power, other characters like that. Characters who have existed long enough, like Hey Arnold. And many more of those characters should be able to come in a game like this, where it's not a racing game, which is what makes it different. It's a melee platformer that could use more updated characters and as well as a nice little roster. So, with that being said, this game I nominate as number one for that pure reason. For that pure reason itself. Like, THQ Nordic can do this, and I'm 100% certain and guarantee that this would not only make you money, but that Nickelodeon will also approve, and it will get people interested in Nickelodeon titles again, besides SpongeBob SquarePants, Battle for Bikini Bottoms Rehydrated. So this is a game that should be brought out bursting with more content, as well as more for us, both adults and children, to enjoy together. I'd like to take the moment to thank you guys for sitting down and watching this whole video. Even though it's a pretty long video of me basically having personal preferences when it comes to Nickelodeon games that I choose to be brought back, these are games in specific that I say, hey, they should give a chance to at least try these games out, and then maybe we can see some progress of what we like. Well, anyways, I would like you guys to still like, comment, subscribe to the video if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!